Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe here again, showing you my leg day. Just a heads up for a lot of you, I've gotten requests to post my workouts so they can follow along for the people that want to do that. So I'm going to try and make these videos more shorter and to the point just to show you exactly the workout that I did so you guys can follow along. But of course, I'll also be doing the good form equals good mass videos and get in depth with the form and how to do the exercise and so on and so forth. But today, I started with squats. I went fairly higher rep today. Didn't go crazy on the weight load. But like I've said in the past, I generally feel like my legs grow better when I do stick to more high reps most of the time, but I will still throw in like heavy training sets and routines to kind of shock my muscles and work on my strength as well. But my main goal is the bodybuilding aspect, and I've noticed good gains from going higher reps, which many other people have as well. Next thing I moved on to was leg press. This was definitely one of my keep it simple, stupid workouts. Nothing crazy, but these honestly are what I stick to generally, and they've worked very well in the past. So I haven't had any reason other than trying to bust through plateaus to really try to get crazy and mix things up. So I stick to my bread and butter movements, this being one of them. I also stuck to higher reps on this exercise. I did 3 sets of these, and the first one I did, I believe, right around 20. I think it was like 22. The second was more around like 17, I want to say, and I really need to start writing this stuff down again. And then the last set, I believe, was 15. So it gradually got a little hard, but that's to be expected. After the leg press, I moved on to hamstring curls, and especially when I start doing these isolation movements after the compounds, I really start to get a little slower with the form, I guess. Not necessarily stricter form, because I keep strict form in all exercises that I do, or at least I aim to do my very, very best. But with these isolation movements, I think to get the most out of them, you need to be super strict with them, especially on the negative, in my opinion. And it's a lot harder, and you don't really focus as much on the weight. Like, it's not a powerlifting type thing. It's really important just to break down as many of the muscle fibers as possible, and especially in every exercise that's honestly possible. But there's some exercises such as the squat and even the leg press where it's a compound, more power movement, so you're not focusing so much on going super slow and keeping everything like quite as slow tempo wise like you would with these isolation movements. The last thing I did for my upper legs was work my quads, and I did the quad extensions. And the same principle pretty much applies. I've said before that a lot of people don't really view these as a good mass builder, but I tend to disagree, and I think it's more about how you do them. So you could tell it's really slow and controlled, and I hold it for a pause at the top, and these are a real bitch once you get past, like, I would say like 8 to 9 reps. Once you get into the double digits, the burning sensation is just unreal, and once you get to that point, it really takes a lot out of me, to the point where actually I can get out of breath, kind of like I just got done doing a heavy compound movement. So after hitting my upper legs pretty well, I went on to my calves, which obviously is probably my weakest body part from a bodybuilding standpoint. But with this exercise, I did 3 sets, and I kept these actually between 8 and 12. In all honesty, with calves, I'm constantly switching up the rep range that I do, because I'm actually figuring out what works for my calves best as far as growth, because I really struggle to put on size with them more than any other body part. But that's why you got to put your time in the gym, fellas. You got to find out what works for you, and I'm doing exactly that. So the last thing I did in this leg workout to really try and give my calves a good shock was basically I'll call it a super set, because there's just a bunch of sets within one. And basically what I do is I start with 3 plates, and if your calves are stronger, go ahead and go as high as you want. But you basically want to get a lot of reps in on this set, this whole exercise, I guess, which, as you'll see, is a lot. But I did as many as I could with that. And basically I would go to failure, and then I'll stop, which I think is right here. So I'll stop, and I'll wait about 15 seconds, and I'll just let this go through once so you can see what I do. But the rest of them I'll just kind of skip ahead, because you'll get the point. But just kind of wait about 15 seconds, and then I'll go ahead and start again with the 3 plates again. And so I'll do as many as I can again, and I'll go to failure again. Then I'll rest 15 seconds again, and then do the same thing. Then immediately after doing that third set, if you will, I guess, within the set, then I drop the plates. So I pretty much get up right away, do that. If you have a partner, obviously they can do it for you. And then I'll jump back on, and then I'll do the same thing with 2 plates. So I'll go to failure, rest 15 seconds, go to failure again, rest 15 seconds, go to failure again. And then I repeat the same thing with 1 plate. So it's just like one giant set, basically. So I only do this one time. So yeah, that sums up my leg day. Hope you guys enjoyed it and got something out of it. I'm going to be posting my workouts from here on out. And so you guys can follow along with me and or, just learn some little things along the way. But until next time, guys, this is Joe signing out. Health for Thought. Peace.